Hey there, everybody. Welcome into today's edition of Extra Time here on ESPN FC. Thanks to you for sending in your questions via Twitter, and thanks to our trio that have joined us for today's session. We got Stewart, Robson, Shaka, Hislop, Hutchison with us. Our first question, Robbo, is for you. And of course, our listeners and viewers here on this show, they have a long memory. They remember back to last year when you said Zidane would be fired, what was it, before the fall was over? After the Atletico Madrid preseason drubbing. We all remember, 7-3. Robbo, will your last year's prediction about Zidane come true this time around? So you nailed it, just off by 12 months.
Well, if he survived that first period last season when they were all over the place and he was having problems with Gareth Bale, he was having problems with James Rodriguez, it was a fight between those two players and the board, and he got past that and they obviously won La Liga. I think he can be there as long as he wants to at the moment. The team aren't playing particularly well. They're not doing well in La Liga. They had a terrible performance against Shakhtar Donetsk. I think he will stay that little bit longer, but he needs to get the team to improve, that's for sure.
Right, anything you say on this show can and will be used against you. Next question. Yesterday, Ale said that Bayern are the best team in the world by a country mile. Don, do you agree with that?
I agree 100%. I commentated on their game against Atletico Madrid the other night and they blew them away. I mean, they won by 4 sets, but it could have been 6 or 7. I mean, Thomas Muller is in the form of his life. This was out Gnabry, who was away. I think he had tested positive for COVID. Lewandowski was quite quiet leading the line, but Kingsley Coman was amazing. Across the back four, they were just solid as a rock. And one player that's playing at the moment who sometimes takes the armband, sometimes he doesn't, is Joshua Kimmich. And he will go down in Bayern's Hall of Fame. He's a clone of Philipp Lahm, and he was unbelievable in that central midfield role, as was Leon Goretzka and Tolisso, who got goals. I don't see anyone in Europe, matching Bayern at the moment. We think all of the big teams, we think of Real Madrid and Barcelona and Liverpool and Man City, they're all going through their little bit of problems, if you like, a little bit of inner turmoil. Bayern are just a machine that just steamrolls everyone, and they've certainly done that midweek.
Look at us going out on a limb. Bayern Munich, the defending champions of Europe, are the best team in the world by a country mile. Boy, that is unique analysis. You can really only get it here. Let me ask this then, Don. You can't use Shaka's power rankings as a cheat sheet. So who's the second best team in the world, the country mile behind Bayern?
I mean, I would still say Liverpool, but I mean, now we've took Virgil van Dijk out the equation for a season. I think it brings everyone into the equation. I commentated on Juve against Crotone, and I don't see Pirlo's men being that strong this season. I don't really see anyone from Italy getting close to Bayern. I'd probably say it's going to have to be Pep's year this year if he's going to do it at all. So I'd probably say between Man City and Liverpool.
Shaka, I heard a groan there. Did you have a thought?
No, I thought that was a really good question as to who's second, because I'm in total agreement. Bayern are the best team in the world by a long way. And then there's a big bunch in the chasing pack. And it's a matter of take your pick. You could Liverpool is who I'd lean for right now, but they just got over a 7-2 beating at the hands of Aston Villa. It seems like only yesterday, and just about everybody else in world football you can point to a bad result over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, it's just a really tight pack, and take your pick.
Robbo, take your pick from these three: a 30-yard thunderbolt, overhead kick, or bullet header. Which is your favorite?
It's got to be a 30-yard thunderbolt. Struck really nicely into the corner. It always looks good. The overhead kick, some you miss. It's a hit and miss situation. Bullet header's always good to see, but a 30-yard thunderbolt would be my pick to watch any day of the week.
Don, you with him on that?
I'm not actually. I seen Tolisso score for Bayern midweek, and he put a rocket into the top corner from about 30-odd yards, but my memories of Champions League and winning goals that stand out a country mile was Zidane's in the Champions League final against Leverkusen up at Hampden, Gareth Bale's overhead kick against Liverpool. Those are the best goals.
Shaka, if you're going to give up a goal, which is the way you'd least like to give it up? The thunderbolt, the overhead kick, or the bullet header?
The least favorite way is from 30 yards. Overhead kicks are always difficult to predict, because once the player goes up in the air, you're never quite sure how the ball is going to come off their foot, which direction is going. So you can't move or take a position. and a bullet header from, you know, reasonable distance, you just kind of hoping to react or hoping it hits you. But if somebody's hitting it from 30 yards, you know, more times than not, you've seen it come all the way. And so out of the three, that's the one you're most likely going to be expected to save. So that's the one you don't want to be conceding.
Don, who's the best center half in the Premier League now that Virgil van Dijk is out?
Oh, my days. What a question that is. I mean, is it too early to go for Ruben Diaz?
Wow, it's
Is it too
pretty early.
Is it too early? I mean, Chelsea, no. Arsenal, no. Man City, Liverpool.
Robbo,
Oh, my days.
you got any names to throw in that list?
It's a very difficult question. There aren't too many good top-class centre-halves in the Premier League at the moment. There's the one they're all talking about at Leeds, White, who could go a long way. He's a young player who could be a top-class player at some point, but he's not the finished article yet. We all talked about Harry Maguire, but he's had a terrible period, so it's not him. It's a very difficult one to answer. Van Dijk was head and shoulders above everybody else.
Shaka, is that just it? Are there no good center halves in the Premier League?
Right now I'm thinking Thiago Silva, and I'm, you know, just kind of searching around the rest of the league to see who else is up there. But it's telling when we're talking about Thiago Silva as possibly being
at 36,
the best remaining centre back in the league.
Yeah. Okay, Robbo, Yusuf wants to know who is the favorite player that you love to watch in Serie A, and why is it Chucky Lozano?
It's certainly not. It's not Lozano. No, I can tell you that's not the case.
I'm done with this segment then. Forget it. You can keep talking, but I don't care. If it's not Chucky, it doesn't count.
At the moment, one of the most influential players in Serie A is Kessie, who's playing in midfield. He's not a great technician, but he's doing a magnificent job for AC Milan at the moment. He's doing everything you want from a midfield player. He's winning the ball back. He's showing great energy. He's breaking the opposition's attacks down. He's getting forward at the same time, and he's been dominant. And that's why one of the reasons why AC Milan are top of the table, because of his dominant midfield displays.
Robbo, can I chuck Papu Gomez in there? I love watching
absolutely.
him.
Papu Gomez. Yeah, go on. You say it, Don. Exactly what he is. He's a brilliant technician. He runs Atalanta.
Every time I watch him, mate, you know what he's like. It's just little number 10, just floats around the place. Absolute genius.
Next question, Don, is for you. How many Liverpool legends, other than Souness, have punched Don?
This comes from a story that Jamie Redknapp told a couple of days ago, and it's actually true, where Graeme Souness was trying to sell me to Southampton in a swap deal for Tim Flowers, and I refused to go. I didn't want to go to Southampton, and so I blocked sort of Tim Flowers' move. So a few days later, we had a 7-a-side at Melwood in training, and Graeme Souness actually joined in, and Graeme Souness picked himself to play on the opposition side to me. And about 15-20 minutes into a 5-a-side game, the ball has broke right in between me and Graeme Souness, and he two-footed me. And he two-footed me right up in the air, and I fell on top of him, and he grabbed me by the neck, and he punched me in the face for not moving to Southampton. So I've then swung at him, and I've tried to have a little punch at Graeme. He's the manager of Liverpool, and I'm trying to punch him, and he's punching me, and the two of us were like a cartoon. There was like crash, bang, wallop. There was signs going up everywhere. And the two of us got split apart. And then Shaka, the best thing was, Graeme Souness said, he'll be playing on Saturday. I wish you cared as much as he does. And he played me on the Saturday.
Wow.
Yes, Gaffer.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. That is high-level stuff. I mean, to punch a manager in the face and then get the start.
Even then, as manager at Liverpool, I would have Souness in a fight with Don. I'd still back. I'll back Souness now in a fight with Don.
Oh, Shaka, I was desperate for the fight to be broken up because he would have battered me.
Sure. Punching managers or assistant managers is something that this panel knows quite a bit about, right, Robbo?
Yes, another Liverpool legend. Unfortunately, he was then the assistant manager of Coventry, and I was the captain of Coventry, and it was Phil Neal. Who we had a little bit of an argument in the manager's office, And he came across to me, and I thought he was going to punch me. He actually wasn't going to punch me, and I punched him first. And Bobby Gould threatened to call the police for assault. And then the next minute phones up the tea lady and says, bring a couple of cups of tea up and a packet of chocolate biscuits. And the next thing, we're out on the training field. And Phil's throwing the ball to me, little volleys.
Did you start on the weekend, though?
Never quite saw eye to eye with Phil.
Did you start on the weekend, though, Rob?
No, it was because I was injured, and that was the whole reason the argument took place. And I said, if you make me train, you'll regret it. And hence, Peter Unlove got taken off the training field on a stretcher about 10 minutes later.
And that's why.
Which wasn't.
And that's why, Sebby. We say footballers these days, they have gone soft. They're not fighting their managers like we did.
Boy, we have some anger management issues to work through with HR on the back end of this ESPN FC show. Final question then. Chelsea goalie Mendy has 2 clean sheets in 2 games, so why doesn't he and Chelsea get credit, asks Harry. Shaka, with Cech and Buffon playing, how about a comeback?
Wait.
I know, there's a lot to unpack
I'm
there.
not sure what you want me to address there.
Let's start.
No idea what you want me to address.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to address about the Mendy and Chelsea. What about your comeback? You're in pretty good shape right now, right? We've seen you do hockey for the show. I mean, you're pretty
pretty good shape.
I've been considering it strongly, Seb. I'm ready. I'm available to make a comeback.
Really?
We had we had a clip of me playing in the Cayman Islands last year.
We did.
Thought a few managers would have taken note of that.
Yeah. Are you supposed to fall when you
Seb,
dive,
let's go back to last week, Seb. Let's go back to last week, Seb, when we were talking about having regret about retiring. Did you miss it? And Shaka said that he knew when it was time to retire, that last year at West Ham. And I said then, and it's still the case, that every West Ham supporter I spoke to said he should have retired about 3 years earlier. So there's no chance that Shaka should be making a comeback.
Ah, man.
Well, think about the dollars. Robbo,
I've got my gloves.
Dollars.
Hold on, I've got my gloves right here.
Oh, yeah, show us, Shaka. Show us your gloves, because we didn't believe you were a goalie before. We thought you were an outfield
gloves right
player.
here, just in case, baby.
Ooh.
I'm ready.
Wow, did we just get a
I've
brand?
always got them on me, just in case, you never know.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, maybe we'll have a little pickup game in tomorrow's show. Might have to throw the gloves on, you never know. We will be back, plenty more to look forward to on the weekend. El Clasico, United Chelsea, much more. We'll see you then.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.